Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha, and I'm just sitting here in my robe drinking my morning coffee looking sexy as hell as usual. And for those of you who say I don't look sexy as hell when I do these videos in my robe, nobody cares what you think. I didn't ask you shit. Now, something I wanted to talk about very briefly that came up recently. It came up, one, because of a conversation on Johnny Candido's private Facebook wall that I got involved in, and it was also reminded to me when I watched Simeon Panda's video that I linked for you guys yesterday in my discussion about squat safety. People need to be very selective when they pick which powerlifting federations they go join for their first meet, or in which they participate in general. And I know several of us on YouTube who do compete. We urge you guys to go do a meet, no matter how far along you are. Get your feet wet. Go do a powerlifting meet. If you like training for strength at all, you will love it. There are tons of benefits towards focusing your training by going ahead and doing some meets. However, one of the things that some of us differ on is I am of the opinion, and this is one of the reasons I selected the federation that I compete in which I referee in, is the fact that not all federations care about the lifters at all. A lot of federations are more focused upon a prestige and an image more so than they are the actual lifters themselves. And that's something like in my federation, the WPC, we pride ourselves on a lot, is putting the lifters first, putting the athletes first. And part of that includes mandatory safety things. I would personally never compete in a federation, nor would I recommend that anyone compete in a federation that doesn't have safeties in place when you squat, as an example. And the same on the bench press, but the squat seems to be the biggest one that this is an issue with, of people just squatting out of stands. No metal safeties, no chains, no straps, nothing to catch it. While we over in our federation, we require monoliths, we require safety chains. It is not optional for the squat at a sanctioned meet. And even in a little country like England, we have no trouble running 7 meets a year that we get monoliths to. And if we want to do smaller meets, if they still want to be sanctioned meets, they're just push-pull meets where if we don't want to try to drag the monoliths in, or no one wants to set it up, there's not room at the venue for it, then they do a push-pull meet so that it's just bench press and deadlift rather than full power. And I think that is the way to go. And when you see some of these federations who don't do that, you got to question what are they actually thinking. And you'll only see people who are die-hard fans of those federations that'll even make that argument. Because even in those, if cost is an issue, because I am friends with an official who is deeply involved with one of those, and he said, look, we don't have a lot of money for stuff like that. Our drug testing costs a lot of money, but they spend all their money on drug testing that they know doesn't work at the expense of the safety of the lifters, when that same money could have been spent on safety equipment. But even if the budget constraints are there, someone can get a simple power rack and put chains in it, and that would be far, far safer with far fewer injuries in these squat stands. So don't just pick any federation when you decide where you're going to compete. Compete in one where you look at it and make sure that their environment is safe. And you'll find that anywhere you go around the world, any state in the U.S., most countries, some even third world countries, not even first world countries, there are multiple of the big federations there. There will be both the federations that use safeties and ones that do not. They're not that hard to find, so just keep that in mind, guys. And just remember, I personally do not recommend that you compete in a federation that doesn't use safeties on your squat and your bench press, because the safety of the lifters should come before anything else. Alright guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.